Salams and welcome. Fabulous news, breaking news. American state Louisiana wants to display the 10 commandments in school. What are your thoughts? Should the 10 commandments be posted in schools? Should schools be taught about the 10 commandments? I'm a Muslim. Islam is my religion. But I love the 10 commandments because the 10 commandments are in harmony with what also Islam teaches. So that's why I love the 10 commandments. I'm in my element when we talk about, I love it. I love certain topics. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about science. I'm passionate about medicine. I'm passionate about religion. I'm passionate about evolution. And if you talk about the 10 commandments, I love it. In our country, South Africa, I've always promoted the idea that we must implement the 10 commandments. Look at the problems we have. We've got crime. We've got corruption. We've got the highest murder rate in the world. We've got the highest rape in the world. We've got gender violence. We've got the highest HIV/AIDS rate in the world. When we see patients coming into our medical practices with all these sexually transmitted diseases, and HIV and AIDS, you find young, beautiful girls who don't know what is going on. They got HIV/AIDS. You've got teenage pregnancy. You got girls as young as 12, 13, 14 who are already pregnant. They have to leave school. You have young girls who in some of the rural areas in the provincial hospitals who cannot pass the exams. You know what they do? They have sex with a teacher. So the teacher give them good marks. And then you have others because of social media. They want to buy designer clothes, designer shoes, designer handbags. What they do? Let's get a rich sugar daddy. We don't care about our body. So we need to now ask ourselves, let's go through this very briefly and then let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Should the 10 commandments be implemented in schools? In America, they're implementing it full swing. In the state of Louisiana, Louisiana orders every classroom to display the 10 commandments. So let's see what its latest news says. Louisiana has become the first state in the United States of America to give an order that every public school classroom up to university level must display a poster of the 10 commandments. The Republican-backed measure signed into law by Governor Jeff Landry on Wednesday describes the commandments as the foundational documents of our state and national government. Wow. The law is expected to be challenged by civil rights groups. Yes, that's normally what happens, which argue that it contravenes the separation between church and state. I could never understand why there must be separation church and state. How can you separate God from your life? God is part of your life. If you go into a parliament, God is there. I always tell my patients also, if you walk into a operating theater to cut a patient open, God is there. You must regard your operating theater as your church or your temple or your mosque. You cannot take God out. And if you go into parliament, I would suggest our governors and our senators and our MPs, ministers of parliament, and our members of the National Assembly, when you walk into parliament, regard that as your church or your mosque or your temple. It is sacred territory. It is hallowed ground because you are dealing with the lives of the people of that country, whether it's 60 million people in South Africa, or 360 in America, or 1.3 billion in India, or 1.4 billion in China. You are dealing with the lives of human beings. So obviously God has got to be there. You cannot separate church and state, but that's my opinion. I'm old and I'm cold. That's my opinion. And I believe firmly you cannot take God out of the equation. How can you take God out of the equation? The state law requires that a poster includes a sacred text in large, easily readable font so that the commandments are the central focus of the display. It will also be shown alongside a 4-paragraph context statement which will describe how the commandments were a prominent part of American public education for almost 3 centuries. And that is why America is successful. It's a first world country because they held fast to religion. You've got to have a core set of religious values. Why? Because religion, Islam, Christianity gives you what? It gives you a moral compass, the highest standards of morals, ethics, personal integrity, character development, loyalty, fealty, integrity, which includes keeping to your promises, doing what you say and saying what you do, and character. Character ethic is the most important. They have the best of manners, the best of respect, the best of conduct, having a work ethic, work hard in what you're doing. Those are the cardinal values which religion teaches you. And Islam puts a very high value on character, which is akhlaq, morals, values, ethics. So I say I love the 10 commandments. If we implement the 10 commandments in this country, let's just look at two of the 10. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. What will happen in our country, in South Africa? You know what? 80% of our problems will go away. Thou shalt not steal. That means, government ministers, please don't steal. Thou shalt not steal. And people in civil society, criminals, don't steal. So just the one commandment, thou shalt not steal, we can destroy 90% of the crime in this country. Just by if everyone follows the one commandment, which is thou shalt not steal. The next commandment, thou shalt not kill. We've got the highest murder rate in the world. If everyone follows this commandment, thou shalt not kill, we can reduce our murder rate. Don't just read the Bible. I would suggest that, you know what, instead of reading the Bible from cover to cover and not doing anything, just learn the 10 commandments and put it into life, put it into practice. So if we say thou shalt not steal, we can solve so many problems. Thou shalt not kill, we can solve so many problems. And thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. What does it tell you? Islam and Christianity, and I have many patients who tell me this, Islam and Christianity, there is no sex before marriage. Before marriage, you cannot have sex. There is no premarital sex. There is no preteen pregnancy. Now, if you implement thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, that means don't have sex with someone you're not married to them. Don't rape people. That woman does not belong to you. So if you implement thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, that means don't yield to temptations. We can reduce rape in this country, and we can reduce what? Unprotected sex. Our HIV rate, AIDS rate can fall. Because people are having sex with everybody without protection. They're just having sex willy-nilly. But your religion tells you don't have sex before your marriage. Your marriage vows is the sacred vows that you take in front of your Creator, God most merciful. So when are Christians going to stop having sex before marriage? When are Christians going to say, okay, we must stop stealing? We must stop all this crime. It's fine to say, and Muslims as well, when are Muslims going to stop having sex before marriage? So when are we going to say, when we learn a commandment, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Hindu or a black or white, a colored, Indian, whoever you are, South Africa is a Christian country. America is a Christian land. America is implementing the 10 commandments. I would say we must implement the 10 commandments in our country. It'll solve 90% of our problems. Let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts, give me your comments. I love to read your comments. I love to know what's going on in your brain. Subscribe, share, and let us share knowledge. Let's make South Africa a better place than what it is. Bright place, rugby, sunny skies, and BMW. With a side part of biltong, samosas, hot tea, and a little bit of chutney and spices. Stay well, look after yourself.